Start with an initial review of the store. Month to date, the store's net is $1,015. Year to date, it's negative $131.83. The used car managers wholesaled 21 vehicles last month and 140 year to date. Month to date, the used car cost of sale adjustments were $49.62, and year to date, $19,659. We only sold 7 CPO units and $985 per vehicle. New car retail volume was 70 units versus a budget of 89. The current customer pay hours per RO was 2.07 hours versus a budget of 2.81 hours. Dealership only logged 61 phone opportunities versus a budget of 146, or a target of 146. The month of August, they had $9,252 in workers' compensation loss, and the last 90 days we had $40,591 in workers' compensation. The month of August, the store paid $5,471 in excess draws and $51,001 year to date. So the first opportunity I'd like to start with is we would reduce wholesale loss and increase our pre-owned retail sales. Again, they wholesale 21 units in the month of August, and I think they retail 51. So it's in terms of percentage, it's a lot of wholesale units. 140 year to date. Month to date, the wholesale loss was 13,940. Year to date, it's 44,196. I want to ensure that the C cars, we're not missing any opportunities with those units, that they're being retailed, they're not being wholesaled. You know, the additional units that'll create. See if our inventory is aging. You know, if we're wholesaling more cars due to aging inventory. Is our playbook process being executed the best it can be? And are we effectively marketing our inventory? Action plan would be to eliminate wholesaling by retailing more C cars and by better pricing in the first 3 buckets. I would visit our website and search online in order to evaluate the store's online presence. Review our appraisals and make sure vehicles are being properly inspected and valued, and make sure our champion process is being followed. If we could reduce our wholesale loss by 50%, and then 50% of the vehicles that are being wholesaled be retailed, it would reduce our wholesale loss by $6,970. We'd increase our used vehicle sales by 10 units. Assuming an average gross per unit of $1,171 per unit, it's a $18,680 potential improvement. Second opportunity, reduce used car cost of sale adjustments. Month to date, it was $4,962, and year to date, it was $19,659. I want to see that all expenses are being accounted for when we do a deal, that everything's being booked out and all the costs are being accounted for at the time of the deal. Our vehicles are being properly inspected and reconditioned. And is the sales staff properly informing customers when we do a deal? Are they doing an as-is, or are they explaining the car to them properly, and that way, you know, they're not coming back for recon problems? Action plan would be to review our bookouts with the sales managers, make sure that all costs are being properly set up, spot check the pre-owned inventory in order to make sure that proper reconditioning has been done, and properly execute the bucket jump inventory walks. I'd make sure that we had a WIO in every deal and that our C cards have been properly presented to our customers. If we could eliminate 100% of our cost of sale adjustments in the month of August, we'd retain $4,962 more in gross pre-owned vehicles. Third opportunity is to improve CPO sales volume and sales growth. We only sold 7 CPO units at $985 per vehicle. I want to make sure that the sales staff understood the benefits of the CPO program and they were bought into it, that they cared about it, and you know, that all vehicles were clearly marked certified. Are we stocking the right inventory? You know, the inventory mix, can we certify these cars? And then are vehicles being priced properly and being priced to the market as they are certified? and is the desk working to keep gross? My action plan would be to relaunch the CPO program. I'd want to restart and get everyone together, bought in on it and train and make sure that we have confidence in it when we present it to our customers, that we sell the program. Make sure our vehicles are properly displayed on the lot and online, that they're, advertised as certified pre-owned, and we have stuff about the benefits of the pre-owned program. And make sure that our managers are structuring the deals properly. If we can increase our CPO gross per unit by 300 a car, and we hit our budget of 12 cars for the month of August, we sell 5 more CPO units. We'd sell 12 total at $12.85 instead of 7 at $9.85, and it's an 85-25 potential improvement for that month. Fourth opportunity, increase new vehicle retail volume. We sold 70 units versus the budget of 89 units for a 19-unit deficit. I want to see who ordered the inventory and is the mix correct. Are they ordering the optimal cars for the market? Are they being marketed correctly on the lot and on the line? Are specials being offered? Are pricing rules being used online? And is our sales staff and our team passionate about the brand? Do they want to be there? Do they want to sell Toyotas? Action plan would be, to get with the inventory manager and hold them accountable for the model mix and inventory optimization. Make sure our dealer website is updated regularly, if not daily. Make sure our sales staff can, follow the process, properly demo a new vehicle, and sell against the competition. If we sold 19 more units to hit our new vehicle budget of 89 at $11.53 per car, it's a $19,601 potential improvement. Fifth opportunity is increase our hours per RO. Current customer pay excluding quick lube is 2.07 hours per RO versus a budget of 2.81 hours. We want to see that there's an ASR process in place. Are the advisors walking the car with the customer in the lane per the Sonic playbook and our processes? Are they bought into it? And are our advisors great sales associates, and are they trained properly? Action plan would be to spend time in the service lane, observe, see what they're doing, make sure that they're going out and greeting the customer with a smile and doing everything they can to ensure that they've been helped. Make sure that the advisors have enough time to adequately walk a car and sell potential services, that they have the time to go out there and greet the customer, and they're concentrated on that moment and not doing several other things and answering the phones and doing that. Make sure that the service manager, technicians, and advisors are committed to the ASR process and the Sonic playbook. If we could increase our hours per RO to 2.81 to match the budget, at 585 ROs, an increase of 0.74 hours with an effective labor rate of $119.92. It would result in $79,139 in sales and $59,671 in service gross if we kept our margin. 6, improve the current phone lead management system. The dealership logged 61 phone ups versus a target of 146. I'd want to see who's taking the incoming calls. What's the process for our phone lead management? Is there an e-sales office? There's no BDC comp on the MOR. I just want to know who's accountable. Who can we hold accountable for this? Are they is everyone taking calls? Where are the numbers going? Are they going to the receptionist? Is she keeping a log? Is she writing down the stuff? Are we reviewing? Are the calls being reviewed after they've been taken? Are the calls going to the right people? Handling the right customers. It's important. Make sure that all the calls are being reviewed, that there's a level of accountability, that we are listening to the calls and they are being reviewed and that they're being put into the system. And then also review the daily traffic management reports, who's logging their customers and who's not. if we were able to hit our target of 146 phone ups, assuming a 14% closing ratio on 146 leads, versus a 14% closing ratio on 61 leads, we'd have sold 11 more cars. Assuming an average gross per unit of $11.62, the 11 additional units will result in $12,782 in gross. Seventh is reduce workers' compensation losses. In the last, in the month of August, it was $9,252 in workers' compensation loss. In the last 90 days, the stores paid $40,591 in workers' compensation. We want to see that all our machinery is being properly maintained. Are we doing our lift inspections? Is there a safety committee in place? Is our sonic loss control playbook being followed? Is this one claim or multiple claims? Have the causes been addressed? Action plan would be, you know, if there's not a safety committee, we'd start one and then meet immediately, discuss the incidents that resulted in the losses, you know, and then have a standardized schedule for our meetings, you know, make sure that we're meeting regularly and that, you know, each representative, you have a representative from each department, you know, appoint them to be active and be on the look and be a part of the safety committee and ask them if there's other risks that need to be addressed. If you could.
Oop. You just clicked too far. It's okay. You're on your last slide.
I don't think so.
He's on extended time now.
Oh, yeah, he's on extended time now.
That's right.
So we got so many of these presentations up and up, I think.
If you had a Dell computer here, you would have these problems. My Dell, I know there's problems like this.
What, huh?
The damn Apple.
Are they doing that? Are they, you know, apple doesn't fall far from the tree? This is it.
When you're done with BMW, you have to have an Apple. It's better having all the right stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, if we eliminated it in the month of August, it's month-to-date potential improvement of $9,252. Eighth opportunity is excess draws for our sales staff. We paid $54.71 in sales commission excess draws in the month of August, and then $51,001 year to date. I want to see how we're staffed. Do we have too many salespeople for, you know, the amount of volume we're doing? Are the same salespeople being paid the excess draws every month? And do we have a minimum performance standard in place? Action plan would be to run a sales history to see who the bottom performers are. I want to know if, you know, again, are these the same people that are receiving the draws that's in $51,000, you know, year to date? Set a minimum standard and meet with all the salespeople that are not meeting the minimum standard. And, you know, as a last resort, you know, if I didn't feel that these were people that, you know, had potential and could be coached and be brought up, you know, and that they were continuously not bought into it and just wasn't positive and didn't care about being there, I would consider reducing the sales force. If excess draws could be eliminated for the month of August, it's a $5,471 potential improvement. If all 8 opportunities were addressed, as we talked about, wholesale loss, cost of sale adjustments, CPO, new vehicle retail, hours per RO, our phone leads, workers' compensation, and excess draws, it totals up to $138,944.
A lot of money.
That's it.
By the way, you would have had in a minute.
Really? We got done a little bit early.
Yeah. So very thorough and right directly on time, so spot on. Excellent. Okay, who wants to start? March.
Really nice job, very thorough,
Mm-hmm.
all 8 or so, opportunities you identified. I mean, you make it so obvious, because it is there, but your execution plans are all just basic blocking and tackling,
Mm-hmm.
and holding people accountable, and then just can't skip steps. You have to do everything from left to right, and it works. I mean, I think you did a really nice job. You kept it very direct, very focused, and gee, $1.7 million, it looks so easy to do. And that was great.
You wanna go send him to Tom's store for?
No, I'm gonna be there actually next Wednesday. No, I'm serious, I'm there next Wednesday, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a copy of your presentation, so I can act like I know what I'm talking about. There's no original ideas, it's all plagiarism.
Absolutely.
So Chris, what's the issue? If it's, you laid out the solution, what's the issue? Why isn't it being done, or why can't it be done?
You know, it might be a coaching issue, really just a level of accountability of getting the people together and getting them bought in and getting them going, creating that culture to get everyone going the same way. Naturally, it's not gonna happen overnight, but if you keep eating away at it, and as we use that term proximity management, you're good to people, you show them you care, and give them all you have, you come up with a plan and execute the plan, the needle will start moving. And sometimes, naturally, you're gonna have people that they don't like your plan and they don't care about your plan. And they might not wanna come along with you, and they might not need to be with us. But, they need leadership.
You talked about the used car cost of sale. There's certainly a big opportunity there. How do you get the team to understand what the true impact of used car cost of sale is?
Well, probably first thing I would do is get with the used car director, used car team, see that he understands the benefit that we can, get from this if we eliminate our cost of sale adjustments, or at least, reduce them to a minimum.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him to come up with a standardized plan and say, hey, we need, can we book our deals out, make sure everything's accounted for correctly? I'd ask him what he would do to help us eliminate these costs.
Mm-hmm.
Ask for his commitment on this to fix it, and then we'll review it. Or review it daily if we need to, after, at the end of the day with the deals, at the end of the week, whatever it takes, and go from there.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Chris, when you were talking about new cars, I'm sure when you looked at the sheet, you saw they went from an average of about 100 units in stock up to 175. What impact would that have on the mentality or philosophy in the new car sales department when they're almost 40% overstocked?
I'm confused on the question.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, they've been running about 100 cars in stock. Now they got up to 175. If you're running the store and all of a sudden realize that you have a lot more cars than you should probably have, how would that influence your sales operation?
Again, I would want to go back and see how we're marketing the cars, what we're doing to sell the cars. Are they new models? What models, are selling in our market? What kind of cars we have in stock? Make sure that we're doing everything possible in a high volume environment to keep it turning. Make sure that we keep a tight inventory. We're turning them as fast as possible, and ordering the right cars. A lot of factors, I guess, can build your inventory, but again, I would want to make sure that we have the optimal amount and ordering the right amount.
And then you mentioned one of the things that you want to do to promote CPO sales is making sure your desk managers were structuring those deals correctly. What did you mean by, how do you structure a CPO deal differently?
Well, what I was kind of getting at is that I want to make sure that if we're all bought into the process, if the used car manager believes in the CPO program just as much as the salespeople do, and he's involved in the process, gets up, is involved in the TO, early, greets the customer along, helps the salesperson and sells the, the benefit of the CPO program, you'll hold more gross. I mean, you'll make more money in your cars instead of just sitting there desking it, you know, saying, okay, great, you know, and move on. I mean, and doing everything you can in that process to sell the value of a certified pre-owned car and selling as many as you can, because, you know, naturally, the more CPO cars you sell, you normally make more money on them. You get more service recon work from them, and then it's retention. You know, you get customers that'll come back and, you know, trade and get warranty work done, etc.
Would you have the sales managers ask the salesperson, did you explain the certification program to your guests?
Absolutely.
Okay. And what impact would that have on the salesperson? Meaning, if he got asked that same question every time he does the deal, what would that be telling the salesperson?
I guess, I mean, the way I look at it is that it's consistency. They know that they're going to be asked that every time, and they're going to know that they need to do it. It's a general right. I mean, it's you keep doing some things sometimes over and over again, and eventually it sticks. I know that it might be a broad way to put it, but you know, they're going to know what to expect if you continually do that and desk your deals that way.
You identified service growth as a huge opportunity. $59,000 is the vast majority of your identified gains at the store. You also talk about perhaps what the ASR process is not going the way it should. How would you improve the ASR process and get your team to be accountable?
First and foremost, I'd want to get to know the people, you know, get to know the service director and see, you know, what the current process is. I'd want them to know, you know, how much of an area of opportunity this is for us, you know, make sure that they understood that, you know, if we're doing everything we can, and it's a standardized process, it's always done the same way, the benefit and the value of it, you know, and I'd ask for their commitment on this and put the plan together. We do it together, and we're going to improve it. There's no doubt about it. You know, we're going to get the 2.81 hours per RO, you know, and we do it together. There's, you know, no other way.
What was their current average hours per RO?
On customer pay excluding quick lube, it's 2.07.
Like the way you do that, just like that. What about we've talked about in the past leaderboard, Bob Milner's leaderboard, vast. Name 5 things for me that you would put on a leaderboard in this shop.
Okay. I guess hours per RO, ASR. Let's see. Total hours sold. Total hours per RO.
Electric Light Orchestra.
Effective labor rate.
Oh, right.
Sorry. Rose up a little bit.
That's all right.
Softball.
And at the end of the sale, I mean, one of the biggest impact areas we know that affects customer satisfaction is whether or not the repair order's been explained to them correctly. So probably
Active delivery.
delivery. Yeah. All good things to do. Good. Any more? Harry?
No?
No?
Really nice job.
Excellent job, Chris. Really. Okay, 5-minute break. Sure. And then we'll get Bill set up.
Aren't you guys tired yet?
buddy. You don't know the half
Hey, this is a vacation for West now. We've been doing budget meetings and they go a lot longer than this, don't we? We have-
9 o'clock at night.
We have 20 dealerships a day and people are cut up and bleeding when they leave.
We're learning a lot.
I can't believe you would cut people up and send them home.
We've had them crying. We've had general managers walk out crying.
Yeah.
People break into tears when
Well,
hearing.
my mommy says, never put yourself in that position.
They're thumb in their mouth,
Laughing.
their thumb in their mouth, you know.
Pinky in their mouth.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Blankie and everything.
make it.
We were tough on some of those guys.
Wow.
You two got all, you three got all.
We've had a couple
Yeah,
of
you got
meetings
me.
too, do it.
Well, you know what they say about that, right?
Baby schools and drunks?
No, you're supposed to and nobody will bother you.
Oh!
Don't complain, don't explain.
That's right.
Boom up.
Just remember, there's no growth in the comfort zone and no comfort in the growth zone.
That's right.
There's wisdom right there.
He's the clip player of Sonic Automobile.
He is.
Knows an awful lot of everything.
Did I tell you my budget story, Wes?
No.
So we got back from Dealer Academy, and of course, my controller had to be in Disney World or wherever the controller meeting. So I locked myself up in a room for 20 hours straight and just dive into it and work on it, work on it, work on it. And then she comes back and we close ourselves in and work on it for another 12 hours. And we're done. We got all the input from all our managers and everything. Carolyn came by, said, look at the budget. It looks pretty good, okay. She blesses it, we send it in. Well, when they did the review in town, they didn't call us. She called me up in the club, she goes, you better not have gone too far.
Who said that?
Carolyn,
Oh, did you?
she was freaking out. It was friggin' hilarious, I never laughed so hard. I said, it's okay, we put a lot of time in it.
Yeah. I had some good reviews, the Texas reviews, but we learned really good. We learned a lot of, there's a lot of great things happening.
Oh, God, I've seen that before.
It's a lot cooler out there than yesterday.
Oh, gosh.
Well, it's supposed to get down in the 20s tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna
Mid-20s,
be really
that's
cold tonight.
record cold.
Really cold
It's
tonight.
usually cold for us.
Cold for this man.
Turn your nose into diamonds.
Thanks for the, thanks for the sharing of that.
When you go
Too much
surfing
information.
in February when it's absolutely
Turn your
freezing
nipples
cold.
into diamonds.
I mean, sometimes your hands are so cold you can't even look at the remote. You can't even open your car door.
To watch that voice.
That's an old surfer expression.
I didn't hear what it was.
You'll turn your nipples into diamonds.
Oh.
Where Steve, I searched for this place in Ventura called California Street, and it's a point, and when it's perfect, it breaks almost 500 yards, just in a perfect line. So it was freezing cold, I was surfing with my cousin. So I started paddling back out, and it's a quarter-mile paddle, and I said, forget it, I'll just walk all the way back to the point. And it was probably 39 degrees, and it's a dirt road with those little tiny gravel rocks on it. Can you imagine walking, and your feet are numb when you're walking on the little rocks, so I think I caught like 4 waves and stuff. I'm not gonna paddle on
You
my
wear
own.
little shoes or
No,
anything?
I don't like the booties that fill up with water, like wearing little, you get little, it's like,
Oh, the booty types.
yeah, the booties, yeah.
Look at Keen sandals.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
They
check
they
those
strap
out.
on, they Velcro on, they're real tight, but they're completely waterproof and they have a sole on them that's good for any type of slippery deck.
I do self-hypnosis. If you tell yourself while you're out there, gee, I just want to get warm, I just want to get warm, you're going to be freezing. So I tell myself, you're in Atlanta, it's 100 degrees, and you're out here trying to cool out. And so it just, that's
Does
what I
that
tell
work?
myself. It does, works a little bit. So you're like, oh, it's good. It's like sometimes I'll hit a golf shot, I'll say, you're 30 years old, you're on the first tee, you have no pain. And I just,
Nothing hurts.
nothing hurts.
Everything hurts for me all summer, man.
Oh, did we stop the video?
It's okay, we can edit it. Except they cut all of our